Welcome to today's deep dive. Imagine stepping into this grand royal hall, right? You're expecting to hear a binding constitutional decree.
Right, something that actually governs your entire life.
Exactly. But instead, the herald steps up and, just starts reciting a sentimental greeting card. You'd be totally confused.
Absolutely. It would make zero sense.
Right. And yet, according to Charles Clerk, that is exactly what we've been doing with the Sermon on the Mount for centuries. So today, we are exploring Clark's book, Recovering the Original Governmental Message. Our mission is to strip away all those centuries of emotional, religious assumptions. We want to examine this text for what Clark argues it originally was.
Which is a formal constitutional reinstallation of a kingdom, specifically for you, the citizen.
Yeah, and to really grasp the weight of this Constitution, I feel like we have to recognize how drastically the language has drifted over time. Okay, let's unpack this. It's as if we've been reading a nation's legal constitution like it's a book of poetry.
That's a great way to put it. We're taking first century Judeo-Roman civic language and just, well, filtering it through modern individualism.
Because we're so hyper-focused on our internal emotional states now, right?
Precisely. Translators basically turned words that originally defined community governance and legal standing into words about private sentiment.
Okay, so I want to jump into the examples because my whole life I've heard words from this text, like repentance framed entirely around intense emotional guilt.
Oh, sure. The whole feeling remorseful and trying really hard to fix your moral behavior.
Yes, exactly. So how does Clark justify turning this deeply religious concept into a legal jurisdictional one?
Well, what's fascinating here is, if you look at the Greek word itself, metanoia, in the ancient world, this just wasn't a feelings word.
Wait, really? It had nothing to do with feeling sorry?
Not fundamentally, no. It meant a positional return to rightful jurisdiction.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, is the act of relinquishing self-rule and stepping back into your proper alignment under a king.
So it wasn't about achieving some moral standard through sheer effort.
Right, it was simply about relocating yourself legally.
Which fundamentally changes the pressure put on the citizen. If I'm reading a constitution like poetry, I'm trying to manufacture an emotion, but a jurisdictional shift is just a statement of fact. So does this same drift apply to other famous words in the text, like, say, blessed?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The Greek word for blessed, makarios, underwent the exact same distortion.
Because today we hear blessed and we just think happy, right? Or emotionally fulfilled.
Exactly. But historically, makarios was a status declaration. It meant authorized or having recognized standing.
So it didn't describe how you felt at all.
No, it declared where you stood legally within the king's domain.
Okay, so if metanoia is relocating to a king's jurisdiction, and makarios means you have authorized standing there, what does a citizen of that jurisdiction actually do? Like, what does this all mean for you on a random Tuesday at the office? Does Clark map out the operational laws of this kingdom?
He does. And this is where his analysis of salt and light becomes brilliant.
Oh, right, the classic metaphors.
But that's the thing, they aren't just poetic metaphors. They are the actual operational design of this citizenship.
How interesting. How so?
Well, in every kingdom, citizens don't just live within the borders, they carry the culture of their king. Think about salt in the ancient world.
Right, it wasn't just a flavor enhancer.
Exactly, to preserve things. It protected what was valuable from corruption. So being salt means you preserve the order of the king wherever you live.
So where confusion spreads, you restore clarity. Where corruption grows, you guard what is right.
Yes, acting as a stabilizing presence. You don't have to attack the decay, you just refuse to normalize it. For example, refusing to exaggerate numbers or participate in workplace gossip.
It's almost like the keystone in a Roman arch. Like the keystone doesn't scream at the other stones to get into shape. Its mere presence and alignment lock the whole structure into place.
That's a perfect analogy. And then the text introduces the second civic function, which is light. Light reveals what darkness conceals. It makes truth visible.
Like a city set on a hill cannot be hidden.
Right, meaning the citizen doesn't conceal the culture of the king. The life of the kingdom becomes visible through them.
And not through pride or performing for an audience. Right?
Exactly. Just through alignment with the authority of the throne, it exposes dysfunction simply by making truth visible.
Right. Speaking plainly, asking honest questions without needing loud activism or aggression.
Because those who see this stability recognize something greater than the citizen. They recognize the rule of the king.
Which brings us to a really challenging concept from the text to leave you with today. And it's this idea that you cannot preserve what you secretly crave.
Yeah, that hits
Yep.
hard. If you crave social approval, your salt weakened.
Exactly. The world doesn't need louder citizens, just stable ones. So ask yourself, where are you hiding your clarity today simply because visibility feels too costly? Are you reading the decree of a kingdom, or are you still just looking for a greeting card?